Scorpion wins. Fatality.
Hands down, Mortal Kombat X is a brilliant fighter with an immense amount of photorealistic gore that gives you that familiar cringe that the Mortal Kombat series is infamous for. Many gamers even venture to say it's the best in the series, and for good reason. Mortal Kombat X is the first Mortal Kombat entry for this generation of consoles, and it knocks every other installment before it out of the blood pool when it comes to gore, fighting mechanics, and overall presentation. Although the story wasn't quite as what was to be expected out of the series, that inconsistency is a far cry compared to the staggering amount of implications that Mortal Kombat X does right. MKX makes a bold yet ultimately rewarding move in terms of playable characters. The most loved classics are returning, don't panic. However, 8 brand new characters are playable at the price of other classics. These new characters are just plain badass and offer a fresh new experience to veterans of the series. MKX also introduces 3 different playtype variants to each character, changing the way we learn and pull off combos for each character. This opens up a new wave of possibilities for character battles and makes the game even more addicting. The way this game plays is impressive. Combos look like the fight is happening on its own without the familiar stop-and-go animations that make some fighters look unrealistic. Stages are deeply designed and are some of the sweetest eye candy next to the character models. In addition to being amazingly immersive when fighting in, stages offer more than just polygons. Each stage has interactable objects that advance movement or damage your foe. This ranges from running up a tree and backflipping behind your opponent to grabbing a pedestrian and slinging them towards your enemy. This particular design induces the fighting experience to be more versatile and jaw-droppingly cool to gaze at. Now, if there's one thing that does make you gaze in astonishment, it's without a doubt the over-the-top gore system, respectfully the fatalities. In my honest opinion, this game really pushes the ESRB boundary on mature-rated games. It can almost look too real at times, to the point of disturbing your mind even unconsciously. Once the fatality begins, a dark, ominous music begins to play, which enhances the mood of despair as your opponent brutally and without mercy ends your life in a multitude of excruciating ways. And yes, there are many, many ways. The X-rays and brutalities are back and look better than ever, to the point of where some X-rays even rival the fatalities. This game truly and deservingly sets the bar for video games in not only the realistic gore department, but twisted imagery displayed in a game in general. What's odd is the story mode doesn't convey the doom and brutality that the game suggests it would, and should in a sense. The story makes the cruelty an afterthought when developing the characters that play a role in the story. The emotions and bonds between the characters are glorified in a sense, to the point of some cutscenes playing out like a 9 p.m. TV drama on AMC. For me, being confused with the MK story already made this all the more uncomprehendable. I skipped some cutscenes out of true boredom, and that shouldn't happen in a game. It felt out of context, however, it may appeal to some fans, so go ahead and give it a playthrough by all means. The online modes are great. The combat was lag-free most of the time and offer new types of modes that make playing with friends very entertaining. The online battles are interwoven in a new globally connected ranking system called Faction War. Each player, when first starting Mortal Kombat X, chooses a faction out of 5 and helps that faction compete in the online community by completing specific challenges and defeating opposing factions online. The rewards for your faction winning after a set time span are nice, but the premise of the system didn't feel crucial to the experience. It was interesting and innovative, so I couldn't help but enjoy the ride. The Versus mode is back, along with the Practice mode and the Towers mode. The Towers mode has several different sub-modes, my favorite being Test Your Luck Tower, having random gameplay modifiers each match. Play Versus to crush your rivals, or hop into Practice mode to hone your skills. Although this is all standard for fighters, notably they're all incorporated flawlessly. Some nitpicks worth mentioning is the in-game store, which basically ruined the collection mode, where you unlock character outfits, soundtracks, artwork, fatalities, and other moves. You can easily buy all these unlocks and avoid the grinding experience for $20 US. It's an annoying cash grab that takes away from the reward that the unlock should have by means of hours played in the game. However, in the end, Mortal Kombat X is the best in the series, despite some very confusing narrative implications. The new characters are imaginative and distinctive, while its flawless gameplay and terrifyingly enjoyable fatalities properly display how a fighting game should be. Mortal Kombat X earns a 9.5 out of 10.